Welcome back to another week of craziness. This week it's been a busy one and we've not done anything that we thought we were going to do, including the secret bathroom, which we haven't actually touched, which we said we were going to get on with this week. But never mind. But one of the first jobs that I'm going to do is this. Dave ordered a load of worms for the compost and then suddenly had to go out for the day, and they're going to die if I don't put them in. I don't know what I'm doing, but I'm going to throw them in just so they don't die. And then if I was meant to do something different, fair enough. Let's have a look. Not gonna lie, that is disgusting. Come and have a look. Woo! Hole. Can you see them all wriggling? I mean, they're definitely not dead yet, so that's a good thing. There's so many of them. That's gross. I don't know whether I'm meant to mix it in. I'm guessing they'll just find their way into the compost. So what else have we been doing this week if we've not been getting on with the secret bathroom? Well, we have been doing a lot in the garden. We've had Adam come round and he's been sorting the big back hedge. He's been doing loads of the chopping. While he's been doing that, I've actually planted 400 daffodil bulbs with the help of Dave and my dad, to be fair, so not just me. But I'm hoping by springtime we should have 400 extra daffodils in this garden, which will be amazing. And we've actually been putting the living room back together from having the fireplace done. Basically we've sort of done a quick repair job to get it back in use, because we don't think we're actually going to get around to decorating that and sorting the floor and figuring out what we're going to do until at least next year. And we want to be able to use the fire and have a cosy place to sit. So let's show you what we've been up to. So we really wanted to get the garden under control, ready for the winter, chop everything back and just feel like we're on top of it for the first time, because last winter we'd sort of done a lot, but it still wasn't really back to sort of basics, I suppose. So we were looking for some gardeners to help us because we don't have that much knowledge when it comes to gardening, but also it's such a massive job with everything else we've got to do inside the house as well, and having a 6-month-old and a 3-year-old. We don't get that much time to get on with stuff, if we're honest. We were looking across the road and we saw one of the houses that had an absolutely spectacular garden. It was just pristine and sort of our vision of what our garden could become in the future. And then we saw these guys working on it and we were like, right, let's go and have a chat. So on the left hand side there you've got Adam, and on the right hand side you've got Ben, and they have just been absolutely fantastic. So it's Adam Swaby, landscape and design, and they just have so much knowledge. They can name everything in the garden. They know exactly what time of year to prune things, when to leave things be, when to let things grow, and just all this knowledge that I simply do not have. You might be able to hear a little bit that we've been absolutely full of cold. Our big lad has brought everything home from nursery and given it to me and Dave, which has been absolutely fantastic. But hey ho, we're still cracking on and getting on with stuff. Even being 3 doesn't get you out of working hard. Here's Dave trying to fix the lawnmower. I think it was a tyre that needed fixing, so they've been going to sort that out together, and they do get it moving eventually, but it did take a little bit of time. But I also enjoyed watching what was going on at the same time, which was lots of fun. So the towering hedge behind us has caused a fair bit of bother with the neighbours since we've moved in. It was left to get pretty out of control and just way too big, to be honest. Last winter we took about 6 feet off the top because we could see how much it was affecting the gardens behind. It must have made them quite dark, to be honest. Now it's just about keeping it maintained, and honestly, we love it. It's such a great barrier and gives us so much privacy in the garden. but we also want to love where we live, so it's important that we get on with our neighbours too. We've got lots of other ideas of what we could do with this space, but we're not 100% sure what we want to do just yet. If you've got any ideas of what we could do with the orchard, then let us know and like and subscribe to see what we get up to in the future. But for now, let's carry on with what we've been doing this week in the garden. So the hedge is looking really good, I think. Definitely if we keep on top of it, we'll be able to get it into a nice, proper, pristine shape, because it's still a bit raggedy, but it's growing in some places and stuff. So we just need to get it right and it'll look great. Apparently we need to cut it twice a year for the next couple of years, and in a couple of years' time it'll be looking pretty swanky. One of the other things the guys did is get rid of 2 trees. So you can see 2 tree stumps over there. They are both apple trees, and one of them was completely dead. There was just not an inch of life left in it. It's literally... Oh, it's Dave. Hello. Yes, you're on camera. Yes. No, I mean, I'm filming myself on the phone to you.
Oh, right. I thought you could see him in the car. I was like, that's kind of fun.
We've also chopped down 2 apple trees, which, yes, is a little bit sad, but they were absolutely dead. That one was definitely dead. And the one over there... Oh, can I get it on camera? Where am I? Let's go and have a look. Let's just have a walk. See what we can see. I mean, you'll understand why we had to take this one down, because this one actually looked like it got a bit of life in it. But have a look at that. Wow. I mean, there wasn't much left really inside, was there? So 2 dead trees down. We might end up planting some more. Last year we did plant an apple and a plum tree. They're only little at the moment, but they're getting there. So it'd be nice to, I mean, we'll call this the orchard. We want it to stay an orchard. So we don't want to chop too many of the fruit trees down. There it goes, Jack. I'll apologise now for my terrible filming. It was very wobbly because I was trying to keep an eye on everything and make sure Jack didn't go running into a chainsaw, which would not have been ideal. But it was such a lovely day, and coming into the more wintry months, if it's a nice day like this, we definitely get outside. We had so much fun watching, and yeah, it was really, really good fun. Oh, it's looking good here. So Adam also did all of these hedges here, just gave him a trim on the top. And there was also a big tree from when we chopped down the 2 trees here that were quite dangerous. One of them was falling over, one of them had, I can't remember what it is. Dave will tell me, we'll put it on screen. So we had the logs there, but we hadn't actually shifted them. So we got the chainsaws out and Jack had a lot of fun watching that. Dave didn't want to miss out on all the fun, so in between calls he came out and had a good play with Jack as well. Not sure the guys appreciated all of us stood around watching, but hey ho, that's what happened. Dave's also been super busy getting the living room back together, and we're going to go over and see what he's been up to next. But before we do that, if you're enjoying this video, don't forget to like and subscribe. And if you want to see more of the garden, we do have a full garden tour, so go check that out too. So it's time to get the sitting room back together so we can use it. Now the weather's getting cooler, we definitely want to make use of that fireplace, and we know the proper renovations for this room are not going to happen just yet. We need a bit of time to plan it through and decide exactly what we want to do with the space, to be honest. So for now, my lovely dad is helping Dave get this room back up and running, and then we've got a little bit of time to think about the future. Dave's going to go through what we did to get this back up and running, and yeah, here we go.
So I made a start on just some of the cleanup work on the fireplace. I think a lot of you have already seen a video where we replaced the old derelict fireplace with this new log burner, which we're really pleased with, but it does leave a little bit of patchwork that we need to deal with, just where we had to take the mantle off the wall. So I'm just busy working on that today. Normally I would record it as I go, but unfortunately we had to steal the camera to record the builders who've been working outside. But what it means is I've done a bit of work in here. So what I've done is a mist coat on here. A mist coat is simply just you take like a contract paint, a really cheap paint, not a vinyl. You really water it down and you do 2 or 3 coats of that on the fresh plaster, and that just allows it to saturate the plaster. So when you take a nice Farrow and Ball paint or whatever it is, it doesn't immediately suck all the moisture out of your paint. As well as had a first pass on the skirting boards, aka baseboards for our American fans. And all I've done there is I managed to find a pot of the original paint and I've just freshened that up. I'm going to do a couple more coats just to level it all out and see how we get on there. We're actually really lucky because the old owners were really kind, and not only did they leave a bunch of paint pots for us, but they actually labeled them up for the various rooms in the house, and quite a lot of detail as well. So that in itself has been no end of a help to us. Despite them leaving loads of great pots of paint, I can't find a pot of paint which matches up for this room. So we're going to have to go grab a pot of that from the local hardware store. And I've taken a sample off the wall, which we can use. So I've just cut a square out here, which I'm going to take with me. We can take that to the local hardware store and see if they can get something that closely matches. And then we'll paint up the white, cover the mist coat, and hopefully marry this all back in. It is a temporary fix. We're not going to keep this room like this, but at the moment we're prioritizing some other parts of the house first before destroying this room any further. So we'll talk to that. Debs and I will talk to that in a little bit more detail in a bit. Let's go get some paint and let's get to it. There we go. That'll do the job. So this is just from the local hardware store. It cost me £31.99, which I don't think is too bad. They just take that little sample of paper that I showed you and put it in a machine, and that tells them exactly how to mix the right paint. Hopefully this will do the job. It is unfortunately a matte instead of an eggshell. I was going to go for an eggshell, but I don't think you'll see the difference. The trick is when you're using these paints and you're getting colors matched, don't just paint like a square in the middle of the wall. So like for example, with this, it would be silly for us just to paint up to here because it will not match that well. Mainly because you're gonna have fresh paint and then you're gonna have 5-year-old paint next to it. So you're gonna see quite a visible line. What you do instead is, and what we're gonna do today is cut a line down here, either side of the chimney breast, which is much less visible. And honestly, you probably won't see the difference in the walls. Before I do that, I'm going to get my painter's tape out and just protect a few areas. I really don't want to get any paint on this 170-year-old frieze that's up there on the top. So I'm just going to make sure we're bomb-proof there and I don't make any mistakes. It's looking pretty dark at the minute. Let's see if it lightens up when it dries. We have had a few questions about these every now and then. These are quite a traditional way of hanging pictures and mirrors in houses like this. There is literally a dado rail with a recess on it which goes around the room, and then these chains just make a convenient way for hanging and adjusting them. And actually, I quite like the look. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We have 5 lamps in this room, and actually turning them on and off is a bit of a pain. And while you can get these smart modern style switches, which are kind of your smart home concept where they connect to the Wi-Fi and then you control them via Alexa or via an app or something, I just find these a pain and I find them unreliable. So what we use, and we have done for years, is I guess what is the previous generation, which is these things. And these are just RF versus full Wi-Fi, so you don't need a smart home as such. And this little remote just controls them. And it sounds really kind of trivial, but just being able to come into a room and reliably turn all the lights on at the click of a switch and turn them off in the evening is actually really handy. And we've got these in a few rooms now, especially in this house, because the chandeliers have like 10 light bulbs in them, and the light's probably not the best when you're trying to sit down in the evening and watch television or something like that. So definitely recommend these little guys. I will link to one in the description so you can have a look at it. Not affiliated, we just think they're cool.
Hope you've enjoyed seeing this room come back together. We're so excited, and we have been using the fire nearly every single night. Now the nights are drawing in and getting much colder. But next week we've got a really exciting video because the secret bathroom is finally finished. Dave kept it a secret from me with the final touches, so I had the shock of a lifetime because it looks incredible. So if you want to see that, make sure you subscribe and like this video as well, and we will see you next week. See you then.
Tex? What's wrong with you? I'm sure you're broken. Bang! That was the wrong trick. Over.